And I'm back with another video, guys, today. And today, we're going to be talking about some peripherals. We got a lot of questions last night in stream. What is the best budget gaming stuff or gaming peripherals that you can get for your money? Now, I have a lot of experience with keyboards throughout all of 2018. It sounds stupid, but I just really wanted to figure out what was best for me and what would work for everybody else. I spent a lot of money just buying random stuff, whether it's mice, keyboards, microphones, controllers, webcams, and tried them all out. And if I didn't like them, I'd straight up just return them. There's nothing, I really didn't use them for that long. It's not like I dirtied them and just like scammed out whoever the fuck I bought them from. But I did try a lot of keyboards, try a lot of mouse, try a lot of microphones, and I think I have a lot of experience in this shit. You might have other ideas. You can go look at review channels, that's fine. But I'm not sponsored by anybody, so it's not like a biased, kind of biased, biased video. So, what I'm going to be playing or telling you guys is what's the best gaming stuff for you and what's best computer stuff for you. A lot of you guys are getting into PC gaming, and it's probably the best if you're not into Xbox, PS4, Nintendo, all of that stuff. And I will do peripherals on all of that stuff later. Let's just do the PC stuff because it's probably the most lengthy video, at least one of the hardest ones to get down. So, we're going to start with the first thing. We're not talking about PCs that much. We're going to get to that later. We're going to talk about peripherals, everything that plugs into the PC. So, one of the most crucial parts of any PC is a mouse and a keyboard. Obviously, that's what you use for your inputs on a PC. Now, one thing you have to realize about a keyboard is whether you want a tournament-style keyboard or a regular style keyboard. Tournament style keyboards are a little cheaper and some of them may be a little bit more expensive, but if you guys don't know what a tournament style keyboard is, this is a really small keyboard, literally the size of my, forearm plus my upper arm. It pretty much just is, very low profile. There's no extra hand grip like on a regular keyboard. Plus, right after the arrow keys, there's no numpad, and that's one of the big things that people like about tournament-style keyboards is that there's no numpad. They're smaller, they're more travel appropriate, and stuff like that. So, if you're gonna be only gaming on a computer, let's say you have a gaming laptop and it already has a numpad, or you really don't give a shit about a numpad, and you want a keyboard to plug into it, probably tournament-style keyboard is for you. But if you're gonna be using it for work, school, everything else other than just gaming, you might want a numpad, only because it is better for work and numbers and stuff like that. So that's just my experience with my debate on which of the keyboards is better. Another big thing you have to realize is whether you want a mechanical keyboard or just a regular chiclet keyboard, or maybe just like a regular keyboard. I really like mechanical keyboards. As you can see, they're a little bit raised. You push down on them, they make noise sometimes. And that's what I like. It's probably the best for gaming, just because the inputs are a little bit better and the spacing between the buttons is very important, because you don't want to be getting a keyboard that's super compact, kind of like a Mac keyboard, and you just end up pressing buttons you don't need to be pressing, and it just is really bad for gaming. So mechanical keyboards are definitely the way to go. Other than that, you have to realize what you want. We're going to focus on mechanical keyboards because I really don't give a shit about regular keyboards, because mainly I'm gaming too. And if you guys are here for gaming stuff, mechanical keyboards are pretty much what you're going to be going for. So you have to realize how loud you want your keyboard. Now, keyboards have different kinds of switches. So we're going to look at mechanical keyboard switches. I can't type. And we're going to go ahead and just look at pictures. Now, they do have these different colors of switches. They just kind of this is a terrible picture. They do have different styles of keyboards, and most are red, blue, green, or brown. Or I guess as you can say, it's cherry. And the big thing about the differences is pretty much how loud they are. So the loudest ones that you're gonna have are the Razer keyboards that are super loud. This isn't really loud. I'm just pushing really fast and really loud on these. That's why it's making a lot of noise. But the Razer keyboards are by far the loudest. They're one of the more expensive keyboards. You can find some cheap ones, but the cheap ones aren't nearly as worth it as much as the expensive ones are, because their cheap products are shit, but their expensive products are really good, in my opinion. But if you want a loud keyboard, Razer is probably the best. You just have to look at Razer stuff if you want super loud keyboards. They do have tournament-style keyboards, so you have to choose which one you want. And they do have regular style keyboards if you want that too. If you want more of a kind of a super quiet, the Logitech stuff is really cool. The G Pro, although this is 10 keyless, you can buy Logitech keyboards that are that do have the numpad. but they're obviously not as compact as this one. So these are really quiet. I'll put them in the mic. That's relatively quiet for a mechanical keyboard. This is mine that I use. The Corsair K70 is a full keyboard, mechanical, and I think it has Cherry MX switches, which is kind of like the mid-range. It's quick, like they push down really quickly. And these take a little bit to come back up, the Logitech ones, and these really don't. And they make a little bit more noise as the last one. So this is pretty much how I would describe it. Is blue is probably the quietest, green is probably the loudest, and cherry is probably like the mid-range kind of keyboard clicking sound. So it just really depends. And depending on which brand you get, let's say you end up going with Logitech, you want a nice like small keyboard. The mouse that I would recommend for any keyboard is probably a mouse from the same brand. Now there are mouses that come from other brands that are also really good, but just for like utility wise and driver wise, obviously if you want like your keyboard to light up and you want to like customize the colors on it, you do have to download the drivers for it on your computer so that you can customize all that you want. So I just recommend sticking to a mouse of that sense that you want for a mouse. Pretty much if you get a Corsair keyboard, Corsair mouse, Logitech keyboard, Logitech mouse, Razer keyboard, Razer mouse. The big thing about mouses is Bluetooth versus wireless, and you never want to get a wireless keyboard, by the way. It's like the worst thing you can do. Bluetooth mouses have been becoming very good. Logitech has been releasing some great ones. The Hero and the G Pros are amazing. The Corsair ones aren't that great. Razer ones aren't that great either. Pretty much you want to stick with wired if you're on a PC. If you're on a laptop, by any chance, you probably want to maybe try a wireless keyboard or a wireless mouse. Obviously, you'll still have the little dongle that you have to plug into your computer, but definitely you want to be looking for a wired mouse at all times. Now, there are some other brands that I will shout out here. There are Final Mouses, which are pretty much like the Ninja mouse. Everybody kind of thinks of them the Ninja mouse. I got this mouse before Ninja, so fuck you, Ninja. Don't send this clip, please. Anyway, the Final Mouse is a super light mouse if you don't want too much weight. A lot of mouses have weights at the bottom of them that you can either add or subtract. So like, let's say you're playing a MOBA and you don't want to be, your screen all over the place when you're clicking where you want your character to go, like in League of Legends. A weighted mouse is probably better, but if you're playing FPS, you pretty much want a light mouse. Maybe a little bit of weight to it, but a light mouse. So I like the Final Mouse, is pretty cool. There's also the Zowie, which is like super like glidey. You can literally just like flick it with your finger and it'll literally go off the fucking table. It's just really nice and smooth on any single surface that you find. So I recommend that one as well. But pretty much like I said, find a mouse that fits your hand. It'll usually say big mouse or small mouse next to each of the mouses that you buy online. I just kind of like a medium-sized regular mouse. This is why I have the ultralight. And pretty much that's about it. When it comes to microphones, if you want to buy a headset, I do recommend open back headsets. As you can see, this is also the Ninja headset. I got this headset before Ninja. You can go look at the old videos. Fuck you, Ninja. Anyway, so the difference between open back and closed headsets. So we're going to look at Bayer Dynamic. And this is the headset that I have. I have a Bayer Dynamic 99T Pro, or whatever the frick it's called. So we're going to go to headsets. I'm just going to click at all headsets. So there's two different types of headsets nowadays in the headset community. There is open back headsets and closed back headsets. If I can find the one I have, that'd be cool. So they have open back headsets. So as you can see, there's little like ridges on here and on here. It pretty much doesn't have sound, sound canceling. There's no like sound canceling on these. I can literally hear everything around me if there's no game audio going back. Now the good thing about open back headsets is that pretty much what you want is kind of like a full immersion. It's actually more immersive than sound canceling or noise canceling headphones. Both are good. It just depends on what games you are playing and how the game's sound works. So I play a lot of Rainbow Six Siege, and that game is very 360 sounding, so it pretty much is work good with both. I do like this more because it really sounds like the close footsteps sound super close and the far footsteps sound really far, and that's kind of like a good thing and a bad thing. If you were to get a noise canceling headphones, close footsteps would probably sound the same as like medium distance footsteps, but you would be able to hear long distance very easily. Now, it really just depends on your environment. Now, if you're in a very noisy room, you're gaming literally in the living room, probably noise canceling is better so that you can just, focus in on whatever the sound's going to be going through. But if you're in a quiet room or office, open back are probably the best. Now, the thing about these is that they do not have a microphone. You can buy like external microphones that you can just kind of like clip on and stuff like that. But if you want a gaming headset, the Sennheiser, I'm pretty sure you've seen Sennheiser microphones literally everywhere on Mass Drop and shit like that. Sennheiser, they make some pretty good open back gaming headsets as well as just like regular headsets. And pretty much any headset from Turtle Beach, Astro, those are really cool. Astro is kind of like a mixture between sound canceling and not sound canceling, so it just kind of depends on what you want. Turtle Beach is super sound canceling. That's why I like. HyperX is also another sound canceling one that I really like. So it just kind of depends on what you want. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the description or leave them down in the comment section, and I will make sure to try to answer your questions, as well as in my stream. If you guys come by to the stream, I can give you guys what these the prices and all this stuff is. Obviously didn't really put that much of the prices because I don't really want to sponsor them without any money, but still, that's what I would recommend if you're looking for the most budget gaming shit that you can buy. Mouse, headphones, keyboard. I recommend the Logitech G Pro series. Logitech G Pro series. Just depends on how you are. The keyboard, like I said, is the 10 keyless keyboard, so it is pretty much a tournament style gaming only keyboard. So if you just look at all the stuff, pretty much look up Logitech G Pro, you'll find that's also a very good one, and they're nice. Pretty much anything from Logitech is pretty good, well priced, and yeah, I do recommend it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. We're coming to my stream. I will be doing an Xbox Peripherals later.